Hello and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are standing in front of Vashan in Rezatan to continue our main story quest into, I think we now start patch 6.4? Currying Flavor. Desiree, 'tis good to see you. Have you any news from old Sharlayan? We've yet to hear from Y'shtola regarding her search for a means to return to the void. I must confess that her silence has left me feeling restless. And nor am I alone in this. Estinien has such an excess of energy that he has been helping to train our soldiers with nary a grumble. As for Zell, is something the matter? No. Desiree paid us a visit, and so I was surprising her of the recent developments. Or lack thereof. Are you heading somewhere? Aye, to replenish my Aether. Would you like to come? A rare but most welcome invitation. Timely too, I might add. I myself was thinking of venturing out into the city. It will be my pleasure to join you. You will accompany us, of course? Of course I will. Come then. I have an errand to run at the bazaar first. Here with Mr. Zero, aware to see of others. If you would gauge the city's prosperity, there's no sure way than to visit the bazaar and observe the people. This I learned from one and his predecessors. I'm picking up some more spice. Marie told me to do so before my next visit. Mistress Zero has quite the tolerance, you see. The sisters know we Hanish are fond of spicy food, but I doubt any of us could keep up with her. If just the spices they normally have on hand, the Mayan can't quite satisfy her. Which is why I'm happy to provide what they need to achieve more rigorous flavors. Now then, variety being the spice of life, perhaps you'd like to choose something extra to blend with Mistress Zero's usual? It'll help to keep things interesting. What do you say? Fine by me. You can appreciate the nuances of the word sustenance far better than I can, I expect. Okay. What impressive samples. You not find a larger or finer selection all over the world. A colorful array of spices peer out from hempen sacks. Doesn't matter, I just take the yellow flakes and be done. These flakes appear to have been grated from a thick root. Their sharp aroma suggests a bracing flavor. Okay, so I can... These tiny husks give off a citrus-like scent. Perhaps they imbue dishes with a zesty note. These corns tickle your nose with a pungent yet enticing aroma. One can imagine them lending dishes an appetizing accent. So the black corns and the crimson powder? Bright red in color. This powder is hot just to look at. It will likely induce a healthy sweat when consumed. I think I take the blacks. Ha, that's a fine choice. Don't take my word for it. Here, have a taste. Zero may wish to observe your reaction. It would be considerate to sample the spice in her presence. I doubt you need to be told this, but have care not to take too much at once. You tentatively place some of the spice on your tongue. An intense and aromatic heat fills your nostrils. Your reaction speaks volumes. Is this suffice then? Always a pleasure, Mr. Zero, and do give me a read, my regards. I'm pleased to see that Zero has become a regular here, and so much so as to bring her own spice.
My usual, please. But with this spice.
Of course, Zero. It would be my pleasure. Well now, this is enough to make a whole kettle of your special curry.
I don't need that much.
Rest assured, it's easy enough to make a serving just for you. Or we could make the kettle and share it. There would be enough not only for your companions but other diners as well. I dare say everyone will be delighted.
Very well. A full kettle, then.
Excellent. We'll prepare it at once. And for your excellency and our esteemed adventurer, are you happy to try a bowl of Zero's curry? We can make yours milder if you prefer.
Grateful though I am for the offer, I cannot fully appreciate the flavor with this vessel. Another time, perhaps. Do not hold back on my account, my friend. Eat and enjoy.
I could have mine a touch milder. If a merchant was warning us already about Zero's tastes.
Understood. Please, make yourselves comfortable.
It gladdens me to see you taking to life in Radzatan, Zero. In the area of our cuisine, not least of all. Spicy dishes have long been favored in our sultry clime for their ability to whet the appetite and cool the body. Of course, spices also have the effect of preserving foods, which makes them highly coveted in foreign lands. All of this has given rise to a thriving spice industry, and the wealth it brings has allowed our nation to prosper while maintaining its neutrality.
So you trade your spices? Seems rather more complicated than trading in Aether.
In the beginning, this land was no more than refuge for me. But now it is my home, and the people of Radzatan my beloved children. Together, we build this vibrant nation, and naught would please me more than to show it to my sister one day.
Vibrant. Rubicante said the same when he described this world. A reminder of all that has been stolen from us. What many who remember doubtless yearn to take back.
Our home is a lost cause. our only choice to begin anew. In this world, where we may reclaim our mortality.
Nonetheless, it's wrong to damn another to save yourself. As I told Rubicante, as I found myself moved to speak, I still do not understand what made me feel this way, nor what compels you mortals to help one another. But I hope to someday.
We too hope that you will find the answers you seek.
What is going on?
What's happening?
Compliments of Mistress Zero, the Satrap's honored guest. We are serving a special curry for anyone who wishes to partake. But be warned, it is not for the faint of heart.
Oh, by all means, I'd welcome the challenge.
Sisters have mercy. The smell alone is...
Ah! It burns! It burns!
To better maintain the facade, the alchemists ensured that my vessel was capable of consuming food. However, I fear Zero's curry would test the limits of their design.
Apologies for the delay. Please relax and enjoy your meal.
Relax. I don't have time for that. I've been waiting for this. Come, let's replenish our ether.
Someone is hungry. The people in the background. I thought it was perfect.
I trust you have eaten your fill. I shall have Merit prepare a meal for us to take to Estinien. I suspect he too is overdue a replenishment. By this hour, he will have retired to his chambers at Magaduta. Come, let us pay him a visit.
The spicy curry has left you slightly flushed and set your heart racing. Whatever challenges await, you are ready to face them head on, and with feeling. A buff. By the sisters, I thought that curry would be the end of me. I must eat it again. I did not expect so many to take up the challenge, but I'm glad to see everyone is enjoying themselves. I'm satisfied. Welcome back. Master Estinien, yes, he has returned to his chambers. I shall be happy to escort you.
Estinien, are you there? We've brought something for you.
Enter.
Squid masala from the Mehane. I thought you might enjoy it.
Masala, eh? I prefer my squid dried. But I'm sure it won't disappoint. My thanks. Idle as I am in our sorceress's absence, I see. I can't offer much in the way of entertainment, but make yourselves comfortable.
Shall we disrobe as well?
No. We simply caught our friend unprepared. He will make himself presentable at once, I am sure.
This was an order.
At last. We've been looking for you.
My friends! Tell me, were you able to devise a way to return to the 13th?
I believe so. It required a visit to the moon, where I took the opportunity to enlist Urianger's assistance.
Ishtola hath told me all. I should be glad to help you free Ashdaya and put an end to Golbez's dark plot.
If Rubicante spoke true, both Golbez and Ashdaya are on the moon of the 13th. Unlike here in the Source, however, we have no means of making the journey from the surface of the star itself. The technology simply does not exist. Therefore, I propose that we employ a gate to deliver us directly to our destination.
Is such a feat possible?
In theory. Having once been a single hole, the Source and its reflections share striking similarities in geography. And according to a certain someone who unceremoniously whisked us away to the first, the same locations across the worlds are intrinsically bound. All of which is to say, were we to pass through a gate on the Source's moon, it should lead us to the moon of the 13th. Of course, there is the risk of Voidsent gaining entry to our world. Thus did I decide to seek Urianger's counsel.
Both the Watcher and the Loporrits are aware of our proposed endeavor. While they are yet deliberating precautionary measures, they have pledged their full cooperation.
You've been busy. I presume you've also found a way to open this gate.
Be it in Radzat or Sharlayan, scholars have long cast their gaze unto the endless dark of the void. And so, with harnish insights to augment our knowledge, we have indeed conceived of a promising plan to pierce the veil. A plan I am confident will succeed, precisely because the moon is our stage.
Okay.
The preparations will be extensive, and we will require vast quantities of ether. After all, our gate must be large enough to accommodate another great worm. My proposal entails delivering copious amounts of ether to the Tower of Babel in Garlemald. As you will recall, Fandaniel used the structure to destroy the brand's imprisoning Zodiac. And we, in like manner, will use it to channel ether to the moon, and thereby open our gate.
I see. Then we shall need someone on the moon for the necessary rituals.
Just so, Your Excellency. I intend to head back anon for that very purpose, as well as to help devise our strategy to deal with invading Voidsent. Along with our lunar allies, we will once again require the assistance of your alchemists, Nidana not least of all. May I trouble you to serve as their escort?
Fine by me. The room was beginning to feel constraining.
For my part, I shall oversee the requisite tasks on the star. Might I prevail upon you for your assistance?
If all are in agreement, then let us set to work. We'll open our gate, and we will stop Golbez.
Moo. The Dark Throne. I cannot thank you enough for your constant support. You have no shortage of allies at your disposal. Going ham. We've won it all already, then let us set forth our preparations to complete. If I may, I beg a moment to exchange this vessel for its grown counterpart. It is in the keeping of the alchemists of the High Crucible. Of course. We shall accompany the thither and thence begin our journey. Opening a gate is about as difficult as I expected. My apologies for the delay. That is a striking simulacrum indeed. Well suited to the work ahead, I doubt not. Allow me to explain Y'shtoller's plan in greater detail. As you know, we seek to open a void gate in Mara Lamentorum, that we might gain a direct passage to the moon of the 13th. Whilst our comrades labor upon the moon, we must needs accomplish two tasks. The first is the procurement of a substantial quantity of Aether and subsequent delivery of it onto the Tower of Babel. Said structure was once used to siphon the land's essence by way of the Delophoid spires. Such a method, however, doth pose an unacceptable risk to the greater ethereal balance of our world. Thus must we seek an alternate means of conveying our requisite resource. Our second task does pertain to the use of the Tower of Babel itself. You may recall that this portal unto the moon was placed under the supervision of the Ilsabard contingent. If we would employ it to different ends, we must first obtain the contingent's express permission. I should like to believe they would not refuse us, so perhaps we should concern ourselves with the Aether problem first. Have you any idea whence we might source the vast quantity needed? Aye, a likely location does come to mind. Let us make for the airship landing. There I shall reveal more. I'm most keen to know more of Oyange's potential solution. In worst case, I was prepared to offer one of my eyes, but it seems it will not come to that. I sometimes come here for the view. It's beautiful. All are present and accounted for? Excellent. We shall travel to Sharlayan and thence seek the nearby Isle of Ham. Near unto the surface of this isle do rivers of Aether converge. The churning energy of its confluence is released by way of geysers. Originally, the Ragnarok was to be powered by Aether harvested from the isle. But as well you know, an alternate power source was ultimately found for the vessel. Passage under Ultima Thule, to the very limits of existence, was facilitated by naught less than the strength of the Mother Crystal herself. As such, the Isle of Ham's vast Aether deposit remained untouched. We may help ourselves to that energy, provided we are able to secure the form's permission. Yet again, with needing permission, is nothing straightforward in this world? Such is the nature of politics, I fear, and as the Signs of Seventh Dawn have been officially disbanded, no longer are we a recognized collective. A somewhat disadvantaged position, bureaucratically speaking. Fortunately, however, there is a recognized and respected body upon which we might prevail. The students of Baldessian. Upon arriving in Sharlayan, let us seek our friends at the Annex. But Sharlayan doesn't even have an airship landing. An island literally bursting with Aether. That's the sort of paradise Voidsent dream of. When last I came here, it was to deliver my sire's scales. How long ago it seems now. While Mistress Quire has burdens enough of her own, we may be confident she will do her utmost to assist us. Welcome back, Desiree. What brings you here today? In such colorful company. Greetings, Ojika. On the occasion we have come to seek the student's assistance in a matter of some urgency. In that case, you want to speak with Cryo. She's in the main hall sorting through our archives. There's a visitor with her at the moment, but it's no one you don't know, so feel free to show yourself in. Aaronville.
Well now, if it isn't two of my dearest friends.
As for the other two,
I don't believe we've had the pleasure.
Not in this vessel, perhaps. 'Tis I, Vashan. Though, you are welcome to call me Vritra, if you prefer.
Pay me no mind. I merely accompany them.
I pray you forgive us our intrusion. If you are occupied, we shall call again anon.
It's quite all right. We've just finished swapping all our secrets anyway. Erenville occasionally comes and shares the latest Gleaner gossip, you see. From forgotten ruins to mysterious relics, if there's aught that might be of interest to the students, he kindly lets us know.
Alas, I must soon depart on an expedition. As I may be away for an extended period, I wish to give Kryl fair warning. Hence my visit today.
I see. There are specimens that want for procuring, I presume?
No, it isn't guildship business, but rather... homecoming. But enough about me. You have business too, yes? And I'm in the way.
Far from it. As a matter of fact, we should be grateful if you could stay and share your knowledge of the nearby isles with us. We seek a means to travel to the Void. There, a man named Golbez plots to invade our world. A man who even now holds my sister hostage.
That's a very short version of it.
To that end, we require a great quantity of ether, which we understand may be had on the Isle of Ham. We came in the hope of exploring how it might best be procured.
An invasion from the 13th. Must the stakes always be so dramatic?
You have a knack for finding trouble. If Gleaners collected world-ending crises, you could make quite a name for yourself in our profession. It's true the Isle of Ham is a veritable font of ether, but as it's under the Forum's direct jurisdiction, only a privileged few get to set foot there. I myself haven't.
So if we want to help ourselves to the Isle's ether, we'll need to secure the Forum's permission. Very well. The students of Baldessian recognize your endeavors as combating a grave threat to the world. As representative, I hereby pledge our full assistance. Now that it's official, you may leave the politics and paperwork to me. Our operations remain small, but we shouldn't meet any undue resistance.
We are truly grateful.
If I may. According to the original plan for the Exodus, ether collected from the Isle of Ham was to power the Ark. Art thou perchance familiar with the logistics of this endeavor?
I don't know anything about that, I'm afraid. Nor do I think any Gleaner would. You might have better luck asking someone involved with the Ark's construction. Margaret, for instance. She's a researcher in Sharlayan Hamlet. I met with her for a job recently, and she mentioned working on the Ragnarok's propulsion system. You could do worse than to seek her out while awaiting the Forum's verdict.
we may well do just that. Our gratitude for thine advice, and may this threat be but a memory upon thy return.
You're quite welcome. Now then, if you'll excuse me.
I best start drafting our petition. Go on and find your researcher. I'll contact you as soon as we've made progress.
Let us leave matters here to Mistress Kryl, and hie ourselves to Labyrinthos.
To Labyrinthos.
Right then, time to put our best foot forward. Oh. A pity you can't tidy yourself. I should have had Ishtola enchant you when I had the chance. And what have we here? Later, Kryl, later. You've work to do.
Student of Baldessian. Now added to the Unending Codex. And to Labyrinthos. The first person Ryanje asked about our target immediately told us where to go. Is there a place where you do not have allies? I believe we have found our researcher. Though it is not the first time I've seen it, I remain in awe of this sky's magnificence. Never did it occur to me that such an expansive facsimile was within man's power to create. Visitors? How delightful! If you require assistance, then ask away. It so happens you've caught me in post-deadline bliss. Forgive us the abruptness of our inquiry, but 'tis our understanding that thou had charge of the Ragnarok's propulsion systems. We should like to know how Aether harvested at the Isle of Harm was to be stored and transported to the Ark, if the disclosure of such information is permitted. Oh, it's no bother at all. We built special tanks that can store Aether, just like we use casks to store wine. Simple, really. Simple, but quite brilliant in construction. They rivaled even crystals for ethereal capacity. A pity we never got to use them. How muddled, distant from memory. When Doom's deadline loomed large, and we extricated ourselves from waste-time mire of work only to end up chin-deep in another. I was at one with the world, a conduit for the energies of creation, but now? Now I'm truly alive. Would have thought that sleeping in a bed and eating warm meals could make such a difference. Why, I feel positively functional. I dare say drivers are full of dancing over knives at Trophania. We are glad for you, quite. On the subject of the Aether tanks, do you know what became of them? What did become of them? For the life of me, I can't seem to remember. But I do remember someone who might remember. You should be back by now. And just look for the fellow wearing an outfit that screams, "I've been on vacation and you haven't." Very well, we shall seek out this conspicuous colleague of thine. Our sincerest gratitude, Margaret. And do look after thyself. Come, let us seek out this individual attired in a manner suggestive of recent furlough. All is well, and I pray it's the same with thee and Vine. Now das wohl perchance now of one who recently returned from a vacation. Huh. I do not know what a vacation is, but that man strikes me as more relaxed than most. Coco! The face that launched our teeny tiny toy boat. How have you been, Desiree? Able to catch a bit of rest? A bit. Say, do you have these Aether tanks still? Well, if I don't know about the Aether tanks, who in God's name would? Born right in my own workshop they were. A pleasure as always, Master Coco. I trust my respite proved rejuvenating. And then some, but I won't bore you with the details, at least not without a drink on me. So, why is he interested in our little old tanks? Permit me to explain. We want to open Void Gate on the moon. I see. I think I got the long and short of it. It goes without saying, but we all owe you more than we can ever repay. So if you need our Aether tanks, then they're at your disposal. There's just one problem. We need the Forum's approval to set foot on the Isle of Harm. Wait up to me, you'd be on the next ship out, but that a lot can't wipe their asses unless it's in accordance with procedural motions. You may rest assured that my backside is immaculate. For the ex-thumping flies! Master Falchino and Scholar Monteshane, what a surprise! Pardon the intrusion. The Forum has deliberated your petition, and we decided to deliver our verdict directly. I would hope that the matter of pandemonium has not yet been overshadowed by other concerns, but that is a discussion for another time. You've been granted special dispensation to travel to the Isle of Harm for the purpose of etheric extraction, on one condition. On account of its rich deposits of Aether, the Isle is home to throngs of vicious beasts. We ask that you cull any such creatures you encounter. That's all. Given the vast amount of Aether we seek, I expected a far higher price. Oh, believe me, we do not underestimate the value of what you desire. Nay, we simply owe the students of Bardessian and their esteemed collaborators a debt of gratitude. We felt that expediting your request was a suitable way to repay it. A debt of gratitude. We would have taken the liberty of arranging your passage to the Isle of Harm. We have taken the liberty of arranging your passage to the Isle of Harm. Your vessel awaits in Scholar's Harbor. Thank you. Then I better get those Aether tanks loaded onto the airship. We'll be ready to take them where you need, assuming it's safe. I should head back to the annex, but should you need anything else, don't hesitate to call. But Master Fortune and Scholar Monteshane should personally deliver these glad tidings. We must endeavor to repay their faith in us. It seems this forum is like Alizé. They help others simply because they want to. Ah, really? All proceeds apace thus far, and it's thanks to the enduring bonds you have forged.
Bound for the Isle of Harm. You look like the ones Master Fortuno told me to expect.
Thank you.
If you're ready to depart, then so am I. Just say the word.
Is something the matter?
I did recruit one other to our party, but he is late to arrive.
Banquet? Banquet.
Forgive me my delay.
Thancred? 'Tis good to see you.
If it isn't Varshan. They do grow up so quickly. Urianger tells me we have a host of exciting new tribulations to face. And you must be Zero. I've heard all about your daring do in Garlemald. A pleasure.
Apart from strengthening our company with his redoubtable skill at arms, Thancred may also serve as a mentor in those matters that trouble thee. I speak of the intangible forces which bring souls together. Thancred is possessed of experience both unique and insightful that I am sure he would gladly share with thee. Thou needst but ask.
Good, and with that we have unlocked our next dungeon. The Isle of Harm. And we do that next time. A social struggle aside, Zero seems more than capable of handling herself. Still, I shall aid her in what capacity I can. Naught remaineth to bar us from the Isle of Harm. Let us set sail forthwith. He does not strike me as the mentoring sort. No matter what, we must return to the Void. The acquisition of this Aether is but a first step. So I know the isle is hemmed in by drift ice all year round. I'll bring you as close to the shore as possible, but you'll have to walk the rest of the way. Good, and with that I end this episode, and next time we go into this dungeon. Until then, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.